How's that for a transition, huh? Well, when I was a kid, which was like last week, but many years ago, my cousin was still a kid. My cousin Mike and I, first of all, it was on Thanksgiving, and the whole family was over, and Mike and I were in the living room playing cards, right? And we're laying on the floor, and we're playing cards, and he went and got a package of Reese's peanut butter cups. And brought him back, and I had one and enjoyed it. And then he had one, and then he had two, and then he had three, and then he had four. And we're playing this game and not really paying attention until sat there for a while, and I looked at the bag, and the bag had one left. And I said to Mike, can't you eat the last one? And he said, No, I can't eat any more. And he was green, right? And he got it, and he ran out of the room, and I suppose he went to the restroom. But he said, I love it, he said, just couldn't eat one more. Well, today, we're talking about healing. And there are many ways to experience healing, and we're going to talk about what those ways are today. And we're actually going to go through the diagram, a practical way that you can experience healing in your life. I think that there are 4 ways that we can heal. We can heal physically. We can have a healing in our physical body. Like if we had a cold or we had a cut or something, and there's healing that way. And the second way we can have a healing is an emotional healing, right? It's that when we start to explore our feelings, and oftentimes our feelings, if we pay attention to them, are offering us the opportunity to be healed. We can look at how is it that I can heal my broken heart? Or how can I heal this hurt from a childhood? Another kind of healing we have, and we do that a lot in Unity, is to heal our mental healing, to heal our thoughts. Anybody ever have any thoughts that you wish you didn't have?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thoughts of limitation, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of believing that you don't have something that the Christ essence in you is. And we all experience that. One of the amazing things about this path that we're on in Unity is it's about healing. And then if you were to look at it from a neuroscience way, we are rebuilding our brains, right? We are changing our thinking. Our minds are very plastic, in the sense of because we can change them. And what I love, one of the many things I love about these teachings is that we actually teach ways that we can change our thinking. And some people will say, well, that's not possible. But if you've been around a while and you've tried it, you realize that you can change your thinking. And that's one way that we can heal. Another way that we can heal, and a technique that we can involve, is spiritual healing. Right? This involves prayer and meditation. And it really encompasses all these things: physical, emotional, and mental healing. They're all about spiritual healing. And so today we're going to look at what can we do? How can we change ourselves? How can we discover a process that we can actually go through to experience this healing? I like what Rumi said. He said, the wound is the place where light enters you. He's talking about that hurting place that we have within us, and sometimes we don't want to feel the pain or the hurt. We don't want to think about it. And Rumi's saying, but if you pay attention, if you listen, and if you practice your spiritual truths, you'll realize that hurt is actually an entrance for the healing to move in you and change your beingness. It's an amazing secret that we have this ability within us to bring that healing in and to heal ourselves. So where is the light desiring to enter you? Is it into a physical healing? Something in your body that doesn't feel right, that you want to experience some healing around? Oftentimes, the physical healing helps us become aware of a deeper place within us that needs healing, like an emotional healing. Are you looking to have an emotional healing today? To be able to heal some of the anger, the disappointment, the fear that you might be experiencing. And then on the next level is the mental healing. Are there thoughts, beliefs that you have about yourself that are true, that you are willing to change? Are you willing to change? A lot of times this healing doesn't happen until we say, you know what, I'm tired of it, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Ever felt that way? Yeah. That's really an invitation for us to experience healing. Like my cousins say, I just could eat one more. Sometimes we get to that place where it's like, I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of not having love. I'm tired of not being fulfilled. I just can't take it anymore. I want something new. As Daniel Naaman said, something different. I want to feel good. I want to experience the fullness of my life. And that's when we rely on the spiritual. This all we're talking about today is how can I bring that spiritualness on? How can I take my journey of healing to a deeper level so I can experience it physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? As I touch the divine, I am healed again. I love this Bible story. It's like ever since I was a kid, this Bible story stuck out of my mind. And so I'm going to take us through the scripture in this story so we can kind of reacquaint ourselves with it. And then I'm going to do it again. And that time we're going to look at the metaphysics, what the deeper meaning is of that scripture, and how we can apply these principles that this amazing story points out to us to help lead us through our spiritual journey. So let's go through it. So it comes from Mark chapter 25 to 29. First verse is, now there was a woman who had suffered from hemorrhages for 12 years. She endured much under many physicians and had spent all that she had. And she was no better, but grew even worse. She heard about Jesus and came up behind him in the crowd. And she touched his garments. Or she said, but if I but touch his clothes, I will be made well. Immediately, her hemorrhage stopped, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. Jesus said to her, daughter, your faith has made you well. Wow. I love that. And what's been so misunderstood about this story was that Jesus didn't do the healing. Now that's going to blow a lot of people's minds, maybe not yours so much because you understand they were all about the symbolism of it. But Jesus said, what healed you? Your faith. He didn't say, I healed you. He said, your faith healed you. I think that's such an empowering message that so many people have missed. Jesus never put himself on a pedestal and said, worship me. He said, follow me. Do the things that I do. And just like with this story, he gave us practical ways to experience and get in touch with the Christ within. So we can experience the fullness of our beingness. So now we'll go through it again, and we'll look at the metaphysics of it. So there was a woman who had suffered from hemorrhages for 12 years. Now, hemorrhages is what? It's bleeding, right? And blood metaphysically represents our energy, right? So she had a depletion of energy for 12 years. And metaphysically, the number 12 represents as long as it takes, right? So it's like she's feeling this depletedness until she got to the point where she said, I just won't take it anymore. I'm done with this. It's time to do something else. I just can't eat one more. I'm not going to be that way anymore. Then, so in the healing process, this is about awareness, right? When we get to that point where we say, you know what, I'm just not going to take it anymore. The first step in healing is to become aware that something isn't working and to be committed to making a change. Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, said, the first step in all spiritual healing is to believe. And the next step is openness and receptivity to the stream of healing life. So it's like recognizing that I can be a part, you can be a part, we can be a part of this healing life, light of the Christ. So she had endured much under many physicians and had spent all that she had. And she was no better, but she grew worse. Where was she looking for the healing? She's looking outside of herself, looking for people, for stuff, for doctors, and for everything out here to make her better, instead of looking inside. And isn't that often what we do when we're not happy, right? Or we're not whole, we're feeling lack. We try and find that satisfaction out here in the world. And the message here is, all that we need is in here, in this Christ presence within us. So the second step is really just accepting it. Okay, right now, I don't feel so good. Right now, I feel like I'm sick. I'm not affirming this for myself. I'm just kind of saying, right, we're just realizing that these are thoughts that we have, and they're okay. It is okay to go, you know what, I don't feel so great right now. Because that's part of the awareness process and part of the acceptance, right? Because we can't heal something that we resist, right? So instead of fighting it, just go, okay, this is where I'm at right now. And that's okay. I don't need to guilt trip myself. I can just be present to what is right now. And just breathe into this is what is. And the next thing, the woman heard about Jesus. She heard that there was a way for healing to happen. Right? She heard that this man Jesus, who allegedly was going around healing people, she believed that she could connect with him. Right? And for us, that's saying, we know. You know right now, if you didn't know before, that Christ presence, that healing essence, is within you. It's not out there. So she heard about Jesus as you have heard about that Christ presence within you. So this is about taking action. She realized that, okay, that Christ presence is within me, so it's my opportunity to call upon that Christ presence to be part of this healing experience, to pull it in, to join with it. So what we can do here is to look at, for example, if you're having a physical or desiring of a physical healing, taking action might mean getting more exercise. Taking action might be changing your diet. Taking action might get some kind of medical treatment. If you're wanting emotional healing, it might mean going to therapy. It might mean having a heart-to-heart talk with somebody who you love, who will really listen to you. If you're looking for a mental healing, it might mean looking at your thoughts, changing your thoughts, changing your belief, changing and experiencing more mindfulness, learning to be more in the present. And if all of this, of course, is about spiritual healing. And if we are desiring of a spiritual healing, we might need to spend more time in meditation. We might need to spend more time in prayer, more time just kind of checking in and listening and asking, what's going on with me? What can I shift here? What can I do differently? I just love this way of thinking because, right, this whole path is about taking responsibility and not looking out there for something to make me feel better. Everything that I need to make me feel better is in here. Everything that you need to make you feel better is in there. Don't you hate that part? It'd be a lot easier if you just say, believe you got it, you're home, go have a great time, right? But I don't believe it really works that way. I believe you can have some psychosomatic healing by such a process, but I don't believe that really gets to the meat and the crux of what we're talking about as far as healing goes. So, and she came up behind him in the crowd. I love that. Coming behind him and just being in that energy. And she's walking through the crowd, which is representative of being focused, right? She wasn't listening to the conversations in the crowd. She was focused on getting to Jesus, to the Christ. And it's the symbology for us is to look past all the thinking. You ever have those thoughts that go, oh no, you can't do that. Oh, you're not strong enough, or you're not willing to have a healing, or you're not deserving of healing, right? We can get all those voices. And what is happening here is that she's coming behind him in the crowd and shutting everything out. It's reminding us to be laser focused on exactly what it is that we want. And so this is about assistance, to ask for help. Call a therapist, call a friend, call me, call someone that's going to know the truth for you and hold that for you. And she said, but if I but touch his garment, I will be healed. If I but touch his garment. Right? If I reach out and I touch that Christ presence, I'll be healed. She is showing us the power of affirmations. Because affirmations are strong tools that we can use to change our thinking. Right? If I change my diet, I can be healed. Right? If I learn to love more, I can be healed. If I release these error thoughts or these beliefs that I'm not good enough, I can be healed. Yeah. Whatever it is that appears to be in your way, you can move it out of your consciousness by using an affirmation that changes the way you think, feel, and believe. And as we do so, it connects us with that Christ presence within us, which is where the healing is. So this is about using affirmations. We talk about them every week. We have examples of them. We use them. Are you using them? Are you asking, what is it that I can affirm for me that's going to help me be healed? And it could be around one of the four areas we talked about, which are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. and to affirm that you're receiving that healing when?
Right now.
Right now. An affirmation to be strong and powerful is one that says, this healing is happening in me right now. You can even combine it with a denial and say, these fearful thoughts that I have no power over me. For I am whole and complete and loved when? Right now. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. Say that with me. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. And just think about that for a second, and we'll say it again in a moment. And just imagine that you can reach into your beingness and touch that divine and be healed. Let's say that together. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. Immediately, her hemorrhage stopped, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. As soon as she took action, she believed it, was focused on it, that presence of God, that divine within her, got rid of those thoughts. Got rid of those outdated old beliefs. And so this is where the healing happens. When we totally believe in it. When we are so focused and believing so strong. Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole." I love that. Jesus was all about empowering us to use this amazing power that we have within ourselves. And I thought it'd be kind of fun, and this came up when Emily and I were talking about this talk, and we talked about faith and what that is. And I think it'd be good to kind of differentiate what it is in unity and in New Thought as opposed to what it is in other places, right? And faith, I believe, is our spiritual backbone. It encompasses our belief, our conviction, and action, and carries with it unshakable assurance that everything unfolds for the highest good. As opposed to other types of faith where you're putting faith in something outside yourself. Faith, as we see it, is the belief within ourselves that I can get through this, that I can be healed. It's that conviction that it is going to happen. I am going to receive a healing. And then the biggest part that some people miss is it's about action. It's about taking action. It's about doing the spiritual work. It's not just an affirmation or that something outside of ourselves is going to do it. It's saying, you know what, this is important to me. I'm going to do it. And to know that whatever happens is for the highest good. You know, I'll get to that in a second. And then, appreciation is the last one. Did I say that here? Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well." And to me, this is about appreciation, and I'll tell you how. Jesus is affirming with her that her faith was so strong that she was able to heal herself. And he's saying, appreciate that you have the ability and the spiritual strength to heal yourself. And appreciate that. Because it's in that appreciation that it affirms that we have this ability. Right? If you say, I am so appreciative that I have the power to heal myself, it's like everything opens up. Thanksgiving and appreciation are two of the quickest moving energies in the spiritual world. Because as soon as we appreciate what we have, our abilities, it opens the possibilities and the ability to receive those gifts and to continue that work. When we affirm that I am grateful that I have the power to heal myself, it's like, wow. The whole being just goes, wow. Can you sense that? Can you feel that? So appreciation is the final part of this healing process. Charles Fillmore said, through the exercise of faith and our words, our spiritual quality is fused into unity with power of Christ, and the work is marvelously accomplished. Wow. So that, with our words, with our faith, with our spirituality, we are fused with this Christ essence within ourselves that helps us to experience the healing. I love what Ram Dass said. He said, healing does not mean going back to the way things were before, but rather allowing what is now to move us closer to God. And I think what's interesting about Ram Dass's experience, you might remember he went to John of God, right? After he had a stroke, he went to John of God looking to have healing from that stroke. But that's not what he received. What he received was the acceptance of what happened to him and to be okay with it. So the healing that he had was the healing of his relationship with his disease. Healing doesn't always happen in the way we would like it to happen. Right? We can pray, some people, for physical healing, and it just doesn't happen. It's not in the cards for us. But what we can change is our experience of our dis-ease, and to be okay with it, to accept it, to realize that we are whole and complete and loved in the midst of it. And to kind of pick up our bootstraps and go, okay, this is who I am, this is where it is, I'm going to live the best life that I can possibly live. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. So here you have it, a process, a pathway to healing on all different levels. Remember, it's not a race. This healing journey that we are on is a pathway. It's an adventure. And it often doesn't happen at once, and it takes some persistence to stay with it, to do the practical work, to do the spiritual work, to do the emotional work, to do the mental work. So let's walk this walk together in the best possible way that we can as spiritual beings having a human experience. Let's appreciate each other. Let's love each other. Let's celebrate each other. Let's enjoy this journey that we get to live together as enlightened beings. Enlightened because we know the truth. We know that we are the essence of spirit. That we are spirit having a physical manifestation. Wow, how great is that? So God bless. As I touch the divine, I'm healed at death. Say that with me. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. death. And I invite you to move your hands over around your body to remind yourself that you are healed at death. As I touch the divine, I am healed at death. And I invite you to close your eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. Giving thanks for this moment right here, right now. For this understanding and true essence of who you are. That you are marvelous. You are incredible. You are the essence of the Christ. Jesus said, all that I can do, you can do also. Because that Christ presence, that divine presence, that loving Spirit is your essence. And I invite you to breathe into that and to imagine right in this moment that there's a light that's shining in your soul right now. And that light is bringing awareness, it's bringing truth, it's bringing peace, it's bringing joy to every cell, to every space, to every tissue, to every thought, to every feeling. Letting go of all those shadows that don't work anymore, and just imagine them lifting up off of you, moving out into the universe. And to see yourself as a beam of bright light. And let's just hold that vision for a few moments. Breathing in and breathing out. Giving thanks. Allowing yourself to feel appreciation and gratitude for all that you are. For being a beautiful expression of light. A beautiful expression of humanness.